is live. Any second now. Should see the. Oh yeah, just waiting for it to connect to YouTube. That's what the delay is. Okay. Any moment now. Placeholder video stuff happening. Should happen. Should be a feed. Where is... there's my feed. It only took 23 seconds to load up, but there it is. That's me. That's me. Oh, you're hearing a bit of feedback because I enabled the stream. But right, so INS demo, engage, and oh boy, last night I was fiending for it. I was just like, I want to play some more, and I was like, no, I'll do it tomorrow, around about the same time, and that way you can live vicariously through me. Yes. So we're going to skip all that bit because I just want to get straight in. Now, I have to click play. That's annoying. Oh, because I have to choose... Yeah, we're going to choose what looks like the easier of the two missions. So here I am, woken up. First off, chill mode. This is a replayable sandbox mission. There is no end and there is no objective. I understand and I am dismayed with that. So we're going to need some coffee first. So we'll place that in the placeholder up. We'll place a cup here, like so. And then let us begin. So we'll get the pressure up. We'll turn that light off because it was glaring and I couldn't read what was happening here. No, going to need some more heat. And the pressure... Right! I'm going to go with it now. Time has started. Need more heat. Pressure is okay. Just turn that down a bit more. Turn the heat down. Fuck! I've done it too long! 27 seconds goes by really quickly. Right, let's see. What was my coffee evaluation? Well, the pressure was very good and the temperature, but the timing was off. I brewed it for too long. Never mind, eh? Good afternoon, interdimensional lizards. We're going to do some more artillery today, but I'm a bit disappointed with my coffee score. So we'll have that for a bit. And let's have a look at the... So I'll press caps lock to move that out of the way. Any forces complement supply, observation assets, so spotters, I'll copy those into there. Iron nesters here. And cash required for the destruction. Cash destruction yields additional requisition. Gain destroy all hostile elements sector in detail. No countermagic threat has been identified for a well. Right. Very good. So, I am going to get rid of all the coffee stuff. We've got our spotters, we've got our own nest. Got anything here? Right. So, reference point alpha. Do I need any... This reference point alpha, right? Is that pertinent to anything? I think... yes, because it all references alpha, right? So, and then we'll do ammo cache 1. There we go. I think that's enough for now. And we got nothing loaded in that magazine. We've got anything loaded in this magazine? No. Okay. So we'll want to requisition some armor piercing stuff. First of all, can I just say, what a lovely view of the Spanish, or shall I say Iberian countryside. And, I've got 350, that's pretty good. Oh, what have we got? So, HP shells, HC, high capacity bursting charge shell, HC, AP shell, that's what I want. SMK, white phosphorus, oh dear, I don't approve of that. A scout plane, forward observation, forward observers, Move direction. Oh, you can move the iron nest. Okay. That's quite interesting, actually. So, let's say if I was under attack, I could move the iron nest. How is that? How is that? Which is a requisition of different to that one. So that's just cheaper. Alright. I mean, they give me a lot of... the busies coming for you. Just heard you must not have a license for that new haircut. Yeah, that's it. Why has your tank got legs? Indeed, why has my tank got legs? And more importantly, right, because I am playing this game, why is you not seeing any of this stuff? Oh, because I put the image above the game. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. Well, look, suffice to say, when I started off this thing, right, I was here. So, just wait for the hatch to open. So, woke up here, and then I moved over to the coffee station and made myself a coffee. And like, I'll try and make another one just to show you what a pain in the arse it is. So let's put a cup there, right? Let's get the pressure up. Okay, heat all the way up. Too much pressure. Let's whack it back down. Gonna whack down that as well. Nope. Need more heat, so I'll do more heat. Still got too much pressure. Now the pressure's coming down, the heat's going up, so I'm going to crank that down. I'm going to crank that up. Yeah, heat's going up a bit too much. Still going up a bit too much. That's going down a bit too much. No, you... Oh, look, you bastard. It's got a mind of its own. You tell it to go in one direction, and it's just like, yeah, but I'm going to do this now. So anyway, pressure's going down. I'll build the heat back up again. Right, that's close enough. And let's keep an eagle eye on the timer, because that's where I've got this wrong before. Right, done! Drink. Did I... Where's my drink? Well, you know what? I'm going to award myself an 8 out of 10 on that one, because the timing was perfect, and I would say the pressure and the temperature are perfect. So you know what? Probably 90% on that one. Probably 90%. Okay. So that was the coffee minigame you missed out on. Now, let us go to the map. Let's have a look at the map. Right, so I am C669. Right, so move this to C6, and then I'm at 69, like so. I am there. Right, we got a spotter. So, oh, can I use this to mark a spotter? Yeah, let's use this to mark a spotter. So spotter 1 is D4. D4, and it is in 3-3. So there's 3-3. So you're a spotter. There we go. And then spotter number 2 is C158. So where is C1? And then you are in 5-8. 5-8. Like so. And then we've got A794. Right, so A7 94. 94. Aha. Reference point Alpha. It's bearing 65 degrees from spotter 1, and it's 14.5 for spotter 2. Right, so protractor first. Spotter 2 is here. How many kilometers are you from that? 14.55. Right, so let's draw a circle with a radius of 14.55. 14.55, like so. Good morning, Alphabet Cat. We got all the crew here today. I'm really pleased to see it. I was really wanting to play this last night, but I thought, no, you know what? I'll do it with you today, and that way we can learn together. So, oh, sorry. 65 degrees from spotter 1. So where is spotter 1? You're there, and you're at 65 degrees, are you? Okay, so... Oh, I don't like that. Can we get rid of that? 65 degrees. And, oh, you're within the circle, aren't you? So where's 65 degrees? There we go. Right, so reference point alpha is probably 86. And I say probably 86 because if you look here, this is 14.55 kilometers, so right sort of there, really. So reference point alpha is there, like so. I mean, it's there. Right, so there's reference point alpha. Oh no, we don't have the M40M, but you're right. Yeah, he'll be like, oh, this version of Doom looks different. So next, what have we got? Well, we've marked all those points, so we can get rid of that. Reference point alpha's been marked. Okay, so let's just have the pertinent information on our thing. So next one we need is ammo cache 2. Is that? And ammo cache 3 is that. And then we got some other stuff on the board. So at the moment, we don't have, like, we don't have much intelligence on the board. We've only got like our spotters and certain things. So ammo cache 2 is bearing 166 from Alpha, and it's 13.8 kilometers from spotter 1. Right, so we go to spotter 1. Let's draw a protractor. 13.18. It's not a protractor, sorry, it's a compass. Right, there's 13.18, and oh, this one, let's just get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Yep. What am I doing? Alright, we're doing ammo cache 2. Right, that's what we're doing. Right, so it is a bearing of 166 from reference point Alpha. So, you know what? Just for sake of my sanity, I know reference point Alpha was there, but it's 86. Okay, so bearing of 166 degrees from reference point Alpha. Oops. Oh dear. Can I zoom out a little bit? Yes, I can. Right, bearing of 166 from reference point Alpha. Is it? Yeah, 166 degrees. Right, so we are going to put a marker here, and this is going to be ammo cache 2. Right, so ammo cache 2 is... well, it's either there or it's there, so you know what? I'm going to use a star artillery shell, and that will tell me where it is. So we've done that. Ammo cache 2 is there. Right. Okay, so we'll get rid of this, get rid of that. I'm trying to keep the drawing to a minimum, just using these markers. He does love Doom. Yeah. You've never seen Doom? It's a good game. It's a bit old now. It's very different to this. So ammo cache 1 is bearing of 278 degrees from reference point Alpha, bearing 114 degrees from spotter number 3. Right, so 227 degrees from Alpha is where? So 227. And then 114 degrees from spotter 3. So spotter 3 is this one here. Right, so 114 degrees. 114. 114. 114 is that. Right, okay, so this is ammo cache 1. Like so. Move it down to this point here, like that. Why are they using kilometers? Anybody using kilometers? You should use cubits, furlongs, or even shaft. I've never heard of a shaftman. I've heard of rods. I think, what is it? Is it 20 rods in a furlong? And is it 20 furlongs in a mile? Look it up for me, would you, Dave? Ammo cache number 3 is a bearing of 283 degrees and distance 10.19 kilometers from ammo cache 2. Oh, well, that's interesting. Right, so ammo cache 2 is here. 283 degrees. And how many kilometers? 10.19. And 283. How many was it again? 10.19. Okie doke, so ammo cache 3 is there. Let's mark that. Like so. Right. So that is all the geometry lesson for now. I am going to start using some star shells. Shaftman is a closed fist with thumb. About 6 inches. Really? So that's half a foot. Yeah, it's half a foot. Which is different to a hand, which is that a hand is 4 inches, which is length of willy. Right, so I'm going to use star shells. Now I've got 3 targets, and I need to get some precision on. What if I use a scout plane first? So let's just get you out of the way. I can't use the... Why can't I use it? I mean, I could use that, but it's 20 recon points. You know what? Star Shell's a lot cheaper than that. And there's only like 3... there's only like 3 I need, so... there's a Star Shell. We'll requisition 3 of them. You know what? Let's requisition 4. So, 1... 2... Yep. 1... 2, and then we'll have just for like, because I may get something wrong, we'll use an armor piercing shell, but we got 3 targets that need armor piercing shells. I'm going to grant myself 4 of them. 1 and 2, and then we'll go to there. 1, 2, right. And we'll deal with the infantry later, but for the main thing at the moment is the ammo caches, which are in bunkers and they need armor-piercing shells. Right, so I got that. Do I need any powder charges? Let's have a look. 100 powder charges in there, and 100 in there. Brilliant, okie doke. So, the nearest position to me is... In fact, you know what, it doesn't matter, does it? We can do them in any order. What I could do this... Do you know? Let me have a look at something, right? So I'm here. I'm just going to draw a line, right? Unfortunately, they're close. I mean, that would do it, but that one wouldn't do it. See, that's too far away, because I was hoping, like, hey, could I, oh, actually... I'm not doing kill shots at the moment, I'm just doing recon shots. So if I go ahead, right, yeah. Right, so look, I am here. And we're going to go there. Right, so I've got 1 bearing. And we're going to go ahead and do that. To there. Okay, so I'm going to do a compromise between these 2 bearings, right? So... we have a difference of 2.3 degrees between 116 and 113.7. So I'm going to have one cannon. So what? 2.3. If I divide that by 2, I end up with 1.15. So if I take away 1.15 from 116, what bearing do I have? I have 115, 114.5. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my bearing to 114.5. Right, so that's moving now. And I'm going to have a star shell loaded in there, so load that in there. And then you're going to load your star shell like so. And we're still moving. Right. This looks like a posh version of Computer Battleship. Yeah, I suppose it is. I mean, in Battleship you have to calculate range and stuff, but it's a lot more simplified because it's one of those games you can play on bits of paper. Good game, Battleship. I enjoy it. Oh, I've overshot. Wow, there's a bit of inertia there. So I said it was 100 and... It was... The compromise angle between these two is 114.5. And that's sort of like equidistant between the two of them. Right, so the first one is 4.26 kilometers away. So let's go ahead and program in 4.26. 4.26. Like so. And we want 51.12 for that. Right, and the next one we want is 6.78. 6.78. Oh. We need 2 charges of that. Right, there we go. So, this one we're going to say is going to go for target 1. And you need 1 charge of powder. Yep. And this one needs 2 charges. Right. So this one, as you can see, they're both loading, and this one, we're just closing the breach now. Right, so you can be 51.12, so that's kind of there. And this one can be 40. Like that. So this one's needs to be 51.12 and that, okay, so we'll just crank that one up a little bit more. 51.12. Yep, and this one 4068. Right, those are both the angles. We've got our compromise bearing and we've got star shells loaded. So now it's time to arm gun 1, arm gun 2, click, 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 pull the fun gun. Look at that now. That gives me some ideas as to what's going on here. So we got ourselves the armoured bunker, which is, I would say it's just slightly west of my calculation, so it's more in 4-2 than that. And then this one, oh look at that. You see, that one there, quite a bit distance, but that's why we do some recon, because this wouldn't have worked if we fired blind. As if I bring this slider here, we'll choose an armour-piercing shell, right? You've got to be really precise with these armour-piercing shells to do this, as you can see. So let's do the smaller of the smaller. Let us do the closest of the two targets, and then we'll worry about other stuff later. Okie dokie. Yep, I'm satisfied. Oh, some information's coming. What have you said? No. Is it this one? No. No. Anyway. I need to do a bearing. So, we'll get rid of these, as that's no longer pertinent. But I was really sort of thinking to myself, like last night, what's the situation I would have where I would be using like both guns at the same time? And the answer is, if you've got two targets on a line, you can have one gun shoot at the closer target and one gun shoot at the further away target. So I do this, for example. See? My bearings, ever so slightly different to before now. Do you remember before it was 113 and 160? Now it's 0.8. So we'll get rid of... well, we'll keep those bearings. Yeah, we'll definitely keep those bearings. So if I go here, let's dial in 116.8. I could have done this whilst the guns were loading, because that takes time, but never mind. We're not being pressed for time here. So we're doing this one, which is 116.8, so 6.47. Like so. And then we need minimum 2 charges, so 38.82, right. And we are going to need, no, yes, load. Then we're going to need 2 charges in there. So if you see the little sticker there, it says EMPT and 2. I don't know what EMPT means, but we need 2 of them. Right, ram that in, like so. And now we could probably get this ready in the meantime. And it probably needs, well, we won't say probably, we'll actually do it. £50.4, £1 charge. Oh, that's very close, so 38.82. You're 50. So we'll probably have to wait for that to finish its thing before we can fire. That is really close. Yeah, both the angles are correct, but the bearings are different. So, let's go ahead and left gun, armed, dot, 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 yeah. Right, so you're firing. I want to right, so now move that out of the way. Well, we got confirmed kill on that one. And a confirmed kill on that. So it's a field report. So, ammo cache 3 is destroyed, ammo cache 1 is destroyed, supply cache spotted, grid L175, ammo cache 1 destroyed, additional requisition granted. So the supply cache is grid L175. Nice, so we'll get rid of that and that, like so. We'll copy in supply cache there, like so. And we can get we destroyed ammo cache that. So ammo cache 1, ammo cache 3 is destroyed. And ammo cache. So we're gonna need 2, and for that we're gonna need a spotter shell. So let's change the magazine around. No. Oh. So, star shell in, yeah, and this one, armor piercing shell in. So we'll get rid of these, like so. Now we're looking for ammo cache 2, which we reckon's here. So if I draw a red line from that to that, that will give us the approximate location. The star shell will show us where it is. And then once I do that, I can fine calibrate the gun and fire the armor piercer. So, what are you saying? Target 6 spotted. Well, I'm not ready for target 6, so that's very nice, thank you, but what now? Supply cache 6 spotted. Okay, great. I need a bit, yeah, so look. So what have I got loaded? I've got star and armor piercing, so left gun star, right gun armor piercing, so we need 14.36. Right, so I need 3 powder charges. 57.44. Right. Wow, this should be good. So, we'll go ahead and put in 1, 2, 3. And likewise, 1, 2, 3. Ram that in. New. Ram it in. To assign. We want 5744. Right, so there it is, 5744, like so. And now, what's the bearing? 106.1. too much. $106.1. Okay, so we're only firing one gun, and the star shell is in the left gun. So now, let's just confirm. 106.1, 57.44. Yep. So, left gun only. And alright, so let's get the armor piercer on exactly that spot there. In fact, you know, move it, just make it a bit bigger. And there we go. Right, so now let's draw a red line of death from the big gun to there. So it's 106.4 and it's 14.33. Okay, so that's slightly different. And that is why we get reconnaissance. 14.33. Yeah, and we still need 3 charges. 57.32. Very slight minor adjustment, but also bearing 106.4. 106.4. 106.4. Like so. And this bit is 57.32. Right, there. So, 57.32 and 106.4. Yep, that's all looking good. So let's interact with this bit. Right gun armed. Fire selection confirmed. Shell type confirmed as AP. Bearing confirmed 106.4. Ranging confirmed at 57.32. And the gun is armed. It's nice having a checklist. I like things done in a certain system. It's if you do things in a certain order and systematise them, then things are better. So let's just get rid of that and move it to the side there. Confirmed kill. Right, so now we have got a whole bunch of targets here. We have an armoured target right there, H2. So we're going to go ahead and destroy that. And so red here and H2. Oh, you know what? I wasn't happy with where that was. Yep. Do you want to get the aperture grill on it? Have a look, make sure I've got it right. So let's sort of there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let me deal with this bit first of all. So we got a bearing of 133.8 and it's 6 kilometers away, so probably going to be using 2 powder charges at this if I was to hazard a guess. Right, so we are going to dial it back down to 6.08. 6.08, like so. 2 powder charges, 36.48, there we go. 36.48. Oh. We gonna... Armour piercer, yep. And it needs 2 charges. Power 3648 is going to be that. And meanwhile, the bearing is 133.8. So we need 2 charges in there. This one. Three 6.48. Right, there we go. Everything's ready. So, got bearings correct. Yep, got our range correct. 36.48, 133.8, so 133.8, 36.48, and armour piercing's loaded. So, get the gun ready. Yes, 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 yes. Fire! Right, supply cache 2 is destroyed. Now have a fair bit of requisition, so I'm good there. Okay, now let's have a look. So if I go here, for example, let's choose a HE shell. Well, I can get those 2, but if I go for a HC, HE, I could get all of those, but then I'd risk friendly fire, which is not what I want. Thing about art. Oh, look at that though. If I do sort of bang there, so I'll order a you know what? Let's order in some high explosive shells first of all, because high explosive shells are going to do good against these unbunkered positions. Put 5 in there, yep. So next up we'll have a HCHE, and this is going to go into the, well, it can only go in the left magazine, so I don't have room anywhere else. So there we go. If we look here, we got ourselves a lot of high explosive shells. In fact, yeah, we got 6 of them. And then we got over there in the right gun, we have ourselves a, well, in fact, come on. Oh, alright. Must have got something wrong there. Let's have a look here. That's the one. So we'll load that one in. But first of all, let us drew a line. We shall draw a line. Past tense. The line has been drawn. To that looks about right. We'll just do it slightly north because I can see a tiny bit of blue there. Okay, now we've got ourselves a bearing and a range. 6.44. So 6.44 like so, 2 charges. So HCHE, that's what we want. Right, and we'll wait for that to finish doing the breach thing, but in the meantime I can change the bearing slightly. One to 8.2. Like so. Now we want 38.64. There, right. So we've got a bearing, we've got a range, we've got HCHE loaded. So now, the gun. I just hope that the poor infantry to the south there. Is it an infantry? It's a rectangle. Yeah, infantry is that. Let's hope they know to bunker down. Although there's nowhere to bunker down as they're in the field. Oh dear. Right, well. Ceasefire. Well, it's okay. We learned something today. I think we all learned that, you know, the great gun is very, very powerful. So next up, we're going to do a HE here, like so, on that. And that will just destroy those 2 targets, like so. So we'll just do a big boom there. 3.47 kilometers, 94.7. And if you're writing more stuff about I shouldn't shoot on my friendly forces, I'm like, you know, thanks for letting me know this sort of stuff. 41.64. .7, and then 41.64. 41.64. Right, so 41.64, and then a bearing of 94.7. We've got that and HE loaded. Okie doke, so deep, deep, doop, da, deep, boom. That should just blow up those two. Definitely want to avoid that cross. That's a hospital, right? Oh look, supply cache spotted. Yep. Okie dokie. So, what can we do next? I am going to requisition a different shell, so we're going to go with a white phosphorus shell, and it's going to go into the right magazine. Then I'm going to order a star shell, no, phosgene gas, thermite incendiary, unavailable on demo. Right, so let's see. What is a lozenge shape? It's mechanised, so well, HE will probably deal with that. That's an armoured target. So we're going to have some AP shells as well. Armour piercing shell, hardened bunker armour piercing shell. Yep. So this is going to go in the right magazine. Like so. Yep. Right. Now, I am going to... This one, no. He is mechanised. What's a dot mean? Artillery. Right. And that is a triangle dot. So what does a triangle dot mean? I don't know what a triangle dot means. But look, these are both artillery positions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot this with white phosphorus and see what happens. Because I imagine our artillery crew are vulnerable to white phosphorus even if they are in an enclosed space. Because it's... I don't know if you're familiar with this. It's absolutely hellish stuff. And, you know, I would say it rightly contravenes many war crime conventions. But this is a game, and I just want to see what the mechanics of this artillery type does. So if I go ahead and here, we've got nothing here. So let's assume that it spreads out a bit. I'm going to say it does that. Now, this gun is called the Iron Nest because it's, if you looked at the intro graphic, if in fact let's switch over to it. So Iron Nest, it looks like this. It's a great big gun. What is on a walker platform, so it can walk. Right. So we got our range and our bearing. So we'll put in 11.87. Like so. We need minimum 3 charges. 4748 is what we got. And we're going to use the, not that one. Screening cloud, no open flame. Screening cloud? Well, even if the artillery is obscured in a screening cloud, that's going to be 1, 2, 3. And we need a bearing of 104. Overshot. And we want 47.48. We're very close. 47.48 is... There. There we go. Right. So... Oh, you know what? I just realised I've been doing it all this time, right? And I haven't given out this link to people. So, I like you guys, and I think you're really cool. And I want other people who I don't know, but I'd like them to see this. So if I go to the tubes, and if I type in my studio, let's have a look at content, live, and we've got Iron Nest as live, so I'll copy that video link and I'll paste it into there. I am continuing my play of Iron Harvest because it is that good. There we go. Oh, Iron Nest. For some reason I thought it was Iron Harvest. Doesn't matter. Point being, it's the Great Gun Simulator. 4748. Have I done that? Yeah, 4748, 104.7. Right, so all of this is ready. So, do. Right. Let's pray to God for mercy. Put it on your X or Rumble. Yeah, indeed. I sent it to... I just sent it to a group of people that talk about games. And I think to myself, none of them talk about this sort of game, and they might not be aware that this is a game. So, you know, here's the artillery position, and... Oh my god. That is horrific. Look at that plume of deadly cloud. You know what, I'm glad I didn't do this anywhere near friendly units. Missed shot. I reckon high explosive, but what happens if I use a HCHE? Let me have a look at the requisition cost of these. So, take that away. HE shell costs 3, and how much? That costs 5. Yep, so it is in fact more economical to use a HCHE than to try and deal with these. However, the thing is, I don't know if artillery's armoured. I would assume artillery, it's like in trenches or something, so there's probably some sort of armouring going on there. Anyway. It's given me a whole bunch of information which I'm not paying any attention to because I'm having too much fun blowing stuff up, yeah. Who's gonna blow stuff up, yeah? Looks about right. So 12.28 kilometres. $49.12. Okie doke. And we want HC. What is this? Oh! Oh my, I should have done, oh my god, right. Well, it turns out, with the shell I'm using, HCH3, yeah, because I didn't calculate, or didn't bother correcting, like, these shells, they'll have different weights, won't they? They don't all weigh the same thing. So, we're gonna... No. No. So it's in this one. Oh. Bear with me. That's the one. So we want 3 powder charges. 1, 2, 3. Let's make sure the bearing is correct. Well, we don't have to move much, do we? Like so. 49.12, please. Locked for loading. Guns loaded, and now we can do it. So we'll move that to 49. Gone a bit too much. $49.12, like so. Right. So. Wow, I just learnt that you can tell the calculator what shell you got. Bang, bong, bing, bong, kablammy. Mechanised, and that's sort of. Well, that destroyed one, it didn't destroy the other. Okay. Oh, fiddlesticks. Right. So I'll destroy that one, yeah. And let's draw another line to that one there. So this is the right magazine. So we'll do the longer of the two first. 10.99. And we're loading in HE. So we have a number, and then the other bearing is 9.65. It's also HE. Right. Right. Oh, you can do bearing to targets. Mein Gott in Himmel. and you can choose the target type. Oh god. You can put in all this information. Now look at that. I've got a bearing and I've got a range. So, like, yeah, this bit, you know, is all well and good, but now I've got it, like, double confirmed here. Oh, that's brilliant. This, like, computer here does a lot more, like, stuff than... Oh. You know what, in fact, let's... Because we don't need free charges. Right, so we do that, yeah. And then this one here, which is the other one, that was a range of 10.99. HE, bearing to target was 107. $107.1, 10.99, and it's also mechanised target. Not enough charges. 43.96, which is what we had before, but now we've... Oh, look at that. Brilliant. We can get rid of all this stuff. And you can type in whatever you like, buddy. As long as it's on the map, that's fine, because that's too much information for me to read now. So, I've got all I need here. So, let's have a look. This one, we're going to make, because we've got more powder charges in there. Oh, I think it's like one universal magazine of powder charges. So, oh. Let's go for it all over again. Right, load you in. And 1, 2, 3. So this is the right gun. In fact, let's move this over to know. So right gun's there, left gun's there, and that way I know what I'm doing where. And this one, we'll have HE in there. Load you in, and you're taking in 2 charges. 1, 2. Like so. And we need 43.96 here, so I'll do 43.96, which is probably there. And this one wants 57. Or 3.96. 43.96. There we go. And you want 57.9. More. Bit less. There we go. Right. Okay. And let's make sure the bearing's correct. So we are going to do... Let's do the right gun first, because we're closer to that target. Only 4.9, like so. Okay, so we're only going to use the left gun on this one. $104.9, 57.90, confirmed. Right, let's change our angle to 107. 107.1. Yep. So now, right gun armed. Well, that confirms something blown up. So we're going to need an armor piercer for that. Oh yeah, we can get rid of these now. Wonder what the white pencil's for. Anyway, it goes there. Yeah, and then that one we can just use HE on because it's just a standard thing on the surface. Right. So. Let's have a look. Right, AP low. Yep, so confirm I want AP. And if I go here, let's have a look at go. HE round, load. Right, so first of all, we'll do the what one's what? So the HE's further away. Right, 12.74 then. 12.74. It's HE. Bearing to target is slightly different. It's 102.1. And oh, the target is that. There we go. Why is this flashing? What does flashing mean? I don't know. But anyway, we got a number. So next we're going to use an armor piercing shell. Armor piercing. And distance to target is 11.65. And bearing to target is 104.3. 104.3. There. Right, we have our two things. Right, so they both need 3 powder charges. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to deal the high explosive one first. So 102 we want. $102.1. And high explosive is in left gun. So this one needs to be 5096. 5096. And this one needs to be 46.6. 46.6. Like so. 5096, 46.6. Right. So, high explosive only, which is the left gun. The left gun is high explosive. We've confirmed the fire mission, shell type, the bearing. The bearing is definitely 102.1, 102.1, yeah. Ranger confirmed as 12.74, which is 5096. And that, so fire that one. Right, now we just change our bearing slightly to 104.3, like so. And then if we go here, we've got another armoured bunker. Oh, we've got a few actually. And that's destroyed. Good. So, let's go ahead and do that target. Which will be an armor piercer. And we'll go ahead and do... yeah, you see, if I aim there, that's definitely going to smash it. So if I make it there instead... in fact, you know what, just go... like so, right. Okay. So armor piercing is going to be the slightly longer of the two targets. So we'll do that first. Armor piercing, and the target is a bunker. It looks like that. Right, okay. So I'm not familiar with these symbols. So the target is that thing, which is a bunker. Bearing is 85.3. And distance is 4.36. So I need one charge. Right, so that's the armor piercing one. And then we're going to do a bearing of 85.8. And it's against an infantry. Infantry looks like that. And we're going to use high explosive. Yep. So, and we have our... right, so now, so the left gun has high explosive and the right gun has armor piercing. Okie doke. Let's just make sure we actually have an armor piercer. Yes, we do. Right, in you go. In you go. One powder charge to you. One powder charge to you. Hello, living the dream. Welcome to Artillery Simulator 85.3. There we go. And oh, these guns are going to be the same elevation. No, they're not. No. I've done this wrong. The longer of the two turrets, 85. The shorter of the two, the high explosive one, is 85.8, 85.3. Oh, it's the same elevation for both guns. If only it could be the same bearing. Huh? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So it needs to be 52. .32. I really would like to fire both guns simultaneously, but there's just, you know, difference of now in degrees, is it minutes and then it's seconds? There's like 5 minutes difference between these two bearings. So we are doing 85.3, which is the armor piercer. And the armor piercer is loaded in the right gun, so we'll only arm the right gun. Okay. So, right gun armed. Yep. And now it's supposed to be gun armed. Well, we're doing the gun armor now. So armor piercing is armed. We'll fire. Right. Now we change our bearing to 85.3. Oh, shit. No, that's correct. 85.3. 85.8 is what we want now. So we'll change the bearing to 85.8. High explosive. So we've destroyed the bunker, that's good. Now hopefully this high explosive shell will destroy the infantry without causing friendly fire to our position there. Miss shot. 50. You know what? Okay, we'll chalk that one to experience. So let's do an armor piercing shot on the. Let's do it on here. We'll do an armor piercer. Right, so we got one bearing. Okay, and we need armor piercing, so we got a star shell in there, but that's it. So we'll requisition an armor piercer, and it's going to go in the right magazine. You know what? There, like so. And so we now have 3 armor piercers in there. So let's just go ahead and ram that one in. And let's do some calculations here. So we are choosing AP as our shell. And it's a bearing of 80.6. That's very close. And the target is a bunker. Bunker looks like it doesn't look like that. It looks like that, and the distance is 4.88. And yeah, we can do it on 1 charge of powder with this angle. There we go. So armor piercing in there, 1 powder charge. Ram that one in. Let's change our bearing to 80.86. 80.6. Like so. And then we'll wait for this bit to work here because we need 58.56. So, well, we're very close to 60 degrees there, aren't we? Can I open up the protective shutters? Would it allow me to do that? Oh, I see. If you pre-register for the game, you can have your name engraved on here. So if you wanted, say, for example, Fucky Sucky Jam Tits, or Hitler Rapist Groiper 1488, whatever your name is, I'm sure they'll honour it and put it on the cannon. Kids these days have very silly names. 58.84, 58.56. 58.56, and we have the bearing. So now let's go ahead. 80.6, 58.56. So the right gun is loaded with armor piercing. The fire mission is confirmed. The shell type is confirmed as armor piercing. The bearing is confirmed as 80.6. The range is confirmed at 58.56 with 1 powder charge. Guns armed. Oh look, there's another bunker there. Kill confirmed. Right, very good. So I saw another, but I am interested in fighting its bunkers. I don't know if you noticed this, but I think this is a fun thing to do with artillery. So we'll do a sort of strike there. Yeah, that should cover it. And then we'll do another one here. So we've got smacky dabby. Like so. Yeah, they're slightly different. So 107 and 8.35. Now, I could requisition an AP for the left gun. Yeah, let's do that then. AP for the left magazine. Right, now, so let's turn the crank it one, ram that in, and then this one, AP selected, ram it in, like so. Now let's do some exciting calculations. Oh, hello RT. Might have to get this game. Watching this is scratching just the right part of my I tell you what, artillery is a lot of fun. And this is just the demo, by the way. So the demo is what you're watching me play is the fully playable demo. It's amazing. I've had so much fun, and this is just a demo. So what am I looking at? So let's do a bearing of let's do the shorter one first, 5.54. So let's dial it into 5.54. 5.54. 5.54. So let's go there. Target's a bunker. Bearing to target is 107.2. By the way, what I'm doing here on the range calculator is not necessary. The only thing that's really necessary is input distance to target, select amount of powder charges. Well, I have to select a minimum of 2, because it tells, well, I'll show you what happens if I select the, see that's red, I'm going to show you what happens if you select it. The mechanical computer just goes crazy. So we do that, and then we get a proper calculation, 33.24. There we go. So all these styles here, it's not necessary, it's nice to have. It just, you see my printout here, it's giving me a sticker, it's telling me it's armor piercing, it's fighting against a bunker, you need a minimum of 2 powder charges, the bearing is 107.2, and the range bearing is 33.24. Right, let's calculate this one. 104.9. 104.9 is that. Armour piercing. Range to target is 8.35. The game's called Iron Nest, by the way. I called it Iron Harvest by mistake, but it's Iron Nest, and you are the great gun. 8.35. We need a minimum of 2 powder charges, and then we have that one. Right. So we are going to put 2 powder charges into each of the guns, like that. And let's go to the right gun. Like so. Yep. Ram you on in. Ram you on in. There. And what am I looking at here? Oh yeah, we're just waiting for these breaches to be loaded before we can start changing this, but we can change the bearing. Let's go for 104.9 first. Okay, I've overshot. Let's go for 107.2. Right, there's 107.2. That's our bearing. And now these ranges, so 107.2 is 554. So 107 needs 33.24. So round about there, and this one needs 50. Okay, so 33.24. Yeah, and this one needs to be 50.10. Oh, not too far away actually. And 50.10. Right, there we go. Now, we are going to, because we are at a bearing of 107, we are going to fire the left gun. I know my difference between left and right. Left, right. Left, right. This is the left gun, that's the right gun. We are at 107.2, so we will fire the left gun. So now, I am going to go ahead and say that the fire mission is confirmed against bunkers. The shell type of armor piercing is confirmed. The bearing of 107.2 is confirmed. The range of 33.24 is confirmed. Now, we arm the left gun only. And... right. Let's go ahead and watch this then. Alright, let's get rid of all our lines that we've drawn. Let's just watch it as it flies towards its target and turns this into a smoking crater. Huzzah! It is now a crater that is smoking. So let's change our bearing. We now want 104.9. 104.9 is there. And we've already got the range dialed in for this, so this should be a lot easier. Click, 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 click. Kablooey. Which should hopefully give some information on this part of the map as well. Yeah, and we've got 2 more bunkers there, but you know what? I have plenty of I say I've got plenty of high explosive, so I've got a high explosive in there, and what have I got in here? I've got an armor piercer. Right. So, I reckon we can, let's see, I really want to blow that up, but I know if I do, it's going to result in friendly fire. And we were told off for a friendly fire there, even though I got rid of 1, 2, 3 target. Well, no, that was a separate thing. So we'll want to deal with one of these, and then that's not too far away. So we'll go ahead and... oh! Didn't know I could put stickers on the map. Anyway. So we'll draw distance to the bunker... oh, no, we'll draw it there. Yep, we'll draw it there. So that's going to be our armor-piercing shell. Let's use the boom aperture to have a look, see if that covered... I could go a bit further, actually. So we got our boom aperture dialed in for armor-piercing. Like so. And I know the typewriter's busy telling me stuff, but look, I've got plenty of intelligence on the map, so I don't need to add any more. If you want to see right at the beginning, that's where I did the triangulation, which is great fun. I love, like, say for example, getting a compass out saying, well, if I look within like 2.47 kilometers, and then if I do a bearing of from spot 3 at say 39.2, we can say, well, the target was spotted there. That's how to do triangulation. It's brilliant, because then what you do is you go, well, I draw a red line from there to there, and I've now triangulated using a range radius, a bearing from a spotter, and a bearing from the gun. Triangulation, great fun. Recommend it to everybody. So we have a bearing on the bunker. We are going to do a... in fact, you know what? What is that? What is a lozenge? A lozenge is mechanised. I think high explosive should work on mechanised. Well, we'll find out, won't we? So there is the mechanised. There we go. As you can see, the bearings are similar, but they're not identical. So armor piercing against a bunker. Bearing onto target is it 8.71? Bearing to target is 97.2. Distance to target 8.71. We need a minimum of 2 powder charges. Right, so we have a number for the armor piercing shell, and now we want the high explosive shell. Right, high explosive shell is a shorter distance. We'll dial into high explosive. We're going to type mechanized target, which looks like a lozenge. There we go. And that is a range of 5.6. 5.6. There. So we now have our 2 targets thing. So what do I have loaded in here? We have none and none loaded. Okay. So we have a HE round in there. Load it. And we have an armor piercing round in there. Load it. And both of these are going to need... Right, so the armor piercer is going to be the right gun. The high explosive is going to be the left gun. Both of these need 2 powder charges. Right, so 1 and 2. So 1 and 2, like so. And then we'll ram in the powder charges. And let's change our bearing to 97.2. I've done this wrong, haven't I? So 97.2 is the bunker, that is correct. However, the mechanised one is a bearing of 94.2. Right, so if I go here and I'll dial this to 94.2, 94.2, and then, so you see we've still got the same elevation, that's correct, but we've now, just for the sake of my sanity, that I don't have to remember it, it's 94.2 for HE. Right, so we're doing armour piercing because we got the bearing for the armour piercing, which is 97.2. We have to get this bit correct, which is 52.26, 52.26, 52.26, 52.26. Yep, and this one needs to be 33.6. Oh, we're very close. 33.6, 33.6, and 52.26. Yep, and we're firing the armour piercer, just the armour piercer, because the bearing's 97.2. Right, so yes, 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 yes. Right gun only, because the right gun is armour piercing. Gun armed, and fire. Now let's change our bearing to 94.2. And go here and go D dot D dot D. Well, that bunker's confirmed destroyed. And that mechanised is confirmed destroyed. I am the artillery master. But you know what? I would like to know, is there anybody near me? So I, as I've now got a fair bit of requisition, I see. So if I requisition the scout auto, we want you to start in, I mean if you start in A1 you're going to be there, so I want you to start in A7 with a bearing of what, 90 degrees? Yeah, 90 degrees. Yeah, so that was, sorry, you were in A7, so I want you to start in A7. So bearing of 90 degrees in A7. And what does this do? No, we don't. We just want to keep you in A7. Right, so go ahead and do that. Let's have a recon auto gyro. And oh, look at this. So we got yeah, there's the marker of spotter free. In fact, you know what? Let's delete the map measurements because we don't need those. But it's good to know that we are here, and so far there's nothing that far away. So you've shown us A6 and A8. If I requisition A5, that should overlap and give us some view there as well. So I'm going to do another auto gyro flyby, and we're going to make you A5 instead. Yep. Okay, that all looks good. And you know what? If we do A9 as well, let's do an A9. I know it's expensive, but I think we can afford it. So we'll have A9. Wow. That, I was quite useful. Because look what the recon's showing me now. It's showing me the position of more naughty, nasty enemies. Do you know what? I am going to go ahead and... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's make sure. So I've only got a star showing there, and I've got a nothing in... Really? Oh, I have been busy, haven't I? Yeah, I fired everything. Right, so let us go here and order in an AP shell. In fact, you know what? So the left magazine will have one, and then we'll have two, and the right magazine will have just the one. And right, so now normally you wouldn't use armor piercing to deal with an infantry squad out in the open, but I'll show you my logic for this, right? See, here's the infantry, and you can sort of say, oh well look, they're probably in close quarters combat, like if you shoot there you'll blow them up. I am going to aim it to there, and I reckon that will probably smash them. So I'll just go there for you, right? And then, oh, you know what? It's similar bearing, so I'll go ahead and I'll draw another armor piercer line to there. Yeah, 99.2, 101.1. That's very close. Oh yeah, I'll move that out of the way. Put it over there like so. Now, so let's see if the computer complains about this. So we'll select infantry as the target. Bearing to target is 99.2. 99.2. And we are using armor piercing. And the distance to target is 4.6. 4.16. Yep. And we only need one powder charge. Right. So there we go, and it hasn't told me off for using armor piercing on infantry. So the next target is a bunker. The bunker looks like a dome, like that. And the bearing to target is 101 on the dot. 101 on the dot is there. Armor piercing, and bearing is correct. No, the distance is incorrect, so 8.95. We need two charges for that. 53.7. Ah. Okay, so we're going to load in the armor piercer. And you want 2 charges, but we're going to say you're going to have just the 1 charge. And you go in, yeah, and you're going to have 2 charges. So, left gun has 1 charge. Right, we'll do the left gun target first, which is 99.2. Right, we have the bearing on the left charge. So, this one needs to be at 49. And this one needs to be 53. Like so. And 49.2. 49.92. 49.92. And this one, 53. 53. 53.7. 53.7, 49.92. Okay, and we're only going to fire the left gun. So, arm that. Armor piercing. Shell type confirmed. Bearing confirmed. Range confirmed. 49.92. 99.2. Yep. Gun armed. Fire. Now we change it slightly to 101. Let's have a look at the map, and we bloody well did it. We sniped that infantry whilst not harming our own infantry position. Now that is what I call sniping with artillery. Now we have a look here. Hostile infantry destroyed. Direct hit. Hostile infantry 12 destroyed. Fudge, yeah. So, what a lot of targets. I believe this is called a target reach of fire. Can we justify the use of a big shell? Yes, I think if I do something there, that should be equidistant to all those points. So we'll get rid of the map measurements, and we'll go ahead and draw a new one from there to there. No, it needs to be there because it needs to be equidistant from all three of those points. Right. And we're going to use a high charge, high explosive. So we'll put it in the right magazine. High charge, high explosive, which is this one. So, right magazine, like so, and let's we'll use a generic target for this because we are targeting multiple things. That's what we're doing. And we're using HCHE. And the bearing to target is 110. 110. And the range to target is 13.62. Right, so I need a minimum of 3 charges. And, okay. Now, is there anything along the range of 110 that I can shoot? That's pretty close, and it's close to a mechanised thing. So I think we choose another armour-piercing shell to shoot that one. Okie dokie. Right, well, so we're choosing a dot in a diamond. A dot in a diamond is artillery. Right, so armour-piercing shell. Armour-piercing shell. Bearing to target is 112.4. 112.4. And 3.63 kilometres. We only need 1 pound to charge that. There we go. Right. So let's make sure we got the right stuff in each gun. So we'll go ahead. That's an armor piercer, right? So armor piercer is on the left gun, and let's have a look at HCHE. Yep, that's the right gun. So load in armor piercer, load in HCHE, and you're having 1 powder charge. You're having 3 powder charges. And we want a bearing of 110 to start with. So the right gun is HCHE. No, I'll talk to you guys later. So that is 54.48. 54.48. 54.48. 54.48. 54.48. There we go. And this one needs to be 43.56. So too much. A little bit more. Very close. 54.56. There we go. Right, so I've got the ranges dialed. It's just the bearings need to shift. So we'll fire the right gun first because it's got further to travel, and then we'll fire the left gun after that. Which really makes no difference, but I kind of like the idea of shots landing on a similar time. $112.4. And you know what? Just fire. I'm not even going to bother with all that extra stuff. It's just a checklist to say, have you done it right? It's like, yeah, buddy, I'm pretty sure I've done it right. Oh, which one's going to hit first? That one hit before that one. Oh, mate, look at that. That is timing. And hey, 2 out of 3 of those targets are dead. And if I go here, the artillery's destroyed, but the mechanised thing is unscathed. So, I tell you what, I'm really enjoying this, right? Really enjoying this. However, this is an endless game mode, and I've been playing it for 2 hours. I am sweating like a whore in church, which, you know, Lord forgive me for saying such a thing. So, glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. This game, Iron Nest, brilliant game. Brilliant game. In fact, you know what? We're going to do one more thing, because I just love the idea of doing this, and then we'll call it an end. So, because I saw it was one of the options here, right? So we'll clear that off the thing. You can move direction. We'll do a bearing of... actually, that's a good question. Let's do a bearing of... first of all, delete all map measurements. (180 degrees), and we'll do a distance of 2.5 kilometres. Yeah, that sounds like fun. No, we bloody well won't, because look, I got a feeling, right, if I do this right... It's a bit like snooker. I'm trying to line up a perfect shot, you see. Yeah, you see, these bits, they're not really in line. Because otherwise, oh, imagine how good it would be if I could fire both guns at the same time. I mean, I would be a pretty cool dude if I could fire both guns at the same time. But you know what? Yeah, we could make a couple of things. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that. And then we'll get rid of this one, right? And then we're going to go exactly south, so 180 degrees. So we're going to go 3 kilometers at 180.3 degrees bearing. Right, so the bearing is going to be 180.3. And make it, was it 3 kilometers? Yep. And we're now moving. I don't know what speed we move at, but we are walking it. So let's open up the shutters and see if we can see anything. I think you can see there's pistons working down there. Yeah, I can see a piston there working. Hey, look at that. Oh, look at that beautiful Castellan countryside. Yeah, buddy. That does look pretty. Have we finished? Oh, it's not. Well, it's not making thumping noises anymore. Iron nest somewhere within C3. Well, you know what? Do we have a star shell? We have a star shell. Right, so that is in the right gun. So we're somewhere within C3. I'm just going to say bearing of 90 degrees. And we're going to do a range of 1 kilometre. In fact, what is the minimum range we can do? Can we do like... That's what, 50 metres? And we're going to do... target is empty. Oh, in fact, target is a star shell. Bearing to target is 90 degrees. 90 degrees, and then it's a star shell. Calculate. Oh, look at that! We've loaded in a star shell, right? Yeah, we put a star. So we'll put in 1 powder charge. And turret rotation is 90 degrees, so let's go ahead and just angle there. Beautiful Castellan countryside. But I'm looking more at the numbers than at the window. Like so. And alright, we haven't like loaded in, so we'll do that. And this is 0.6 degrees elevation. I mean, we're practically firing like a howitzer at this point. .6, right. So we got Star Shell loaded. Oh look, the shutter's immediately done. So I'm somewhere within C3, and I'm guessing I am. I'm probably at 6-9. So let's go ahead and we'll just do. Oh, you can click them to say I've done it. Okay, right. I am gonna go and say probably what we need here is a flyby to say, well, in fact, the Iron Harvest. No, it's called Iron Nest. Right, what's this saying? Iron Nest new location some within CV. So it's 40 kilometers. Oh no. Spotted 2. So you're saying 90 degrees and then what was it? 14.37 kilometers from Spotted 2. Okay, so Spotted 2, 90 degrees bearing, and 14 kilometers, was it? Oh. How about me, instead of me trying to remember this stuff, 14.73 kilometers. Right. Now, I estimate my position is there, so I could be wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire a high explosive shell, and then it will confirm whether or not I am firing from where I am. Because if I'm not where I am, then this line will be incorrect. So, and if it's incorrect, then I'll do another auto-gyro flyby. God, it's hot. I think I'm going to have to crack out the emergency Clippo in a bit, because it's, well, I don't know what temperature it is in my room, but my thermometer, it's a Galilean one, it only goes up to 26 degrees, and all of the baubles are right smack dab at the bottom of the column. So we're going to use, target is, I don't know what the target is, so we'll use the generic target marker. Bearing to target is 98.1. 98.1 and 14.79. 14.79. .79, 3 powder charges. We're using a high explosive shell. So, 59.16. Do we have any high explosive shells? We don't. So I'm going to order in armor piercing one side, high explosive the other. Yeah, that's how to do it. How many have I done now? Well, eventually this bit will say I can't put any more on that side, so Yeah, I can't put any more on that side. It's all... We've got 6 in there, so now we're going to get the armor piercers. And armor piercers is there. And this goes into... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if I suit 7, won't let me do 7. Now, there's one thing I've got here, position report. Right? I want a position report for sector R1. Yeah, so... Actually, you know what? What if I do a position report on sector C4? Because I've got friendly units there. So I'm going to do it in both. I'm going to do C4. Actually, make it C3. Because it said I was in C3. Yeah. Come on, eyes on Iron Nest, you're kind of hard to miss. 337 from C9 3. C3 92. So 337. Bear with me as I do that. 337. In which case, I am where I say I am. Yep. And now we're going to do another one here at R1. And let's see if my calculations reflect reality. So go to R1. Do we have any information there? Tachometer shows me at 15 on this. Convoy 2 current location R142. So there is a convoy. Let's use one of these markers to say convoy. And you're saying you are R142. So R1 and 42. And you are 15.4 kilometers from the Iron Nest. See, yeah, that's right. In fact, I've correctly calculated where I am. Right, so this target, we're going to say it's high explosive, yeah, and high explosive shells are in the left gun, so we got everything we need to fire on this unknown target. So, we need a high explosive in there. Like so, and then we're going to go ahead and put in 1, 2, 3 powder charges, like that. And let's make sure our bearing's correct. So we're just going to change our bearing to 98. .1, and then this bit will be 59.16. And a bit more. Yeah, just whack it at 60 and dial it back. 59.16. There we go. Right. So we got high explosive loaded in, 59.16, 98.1. Not going to bother with all this bit stuff here. Oh, we need to arm the actual gun. And it's 36 seconds to target. And yep, there was a target there. Brilliant. Man. This game is incredible. And I am going to call it a day there. In fact, we'll just go down, let's look at the engine. How am I doing for diesel? Well, that all looks fine. Yeah, that's just a start mode. So there's no indicator for fuel level in this. So let's just close that. We'll have a look here. Yep. Wonder why it came on this typewriter and not that typewriter. Oh, high command and field reports. Right, that's what. So all these field reports, they come through. But anyway, we have been doing this for 2 hours now. And I've really been enjoying this. Like, this is a lot of fun. And you can see there's like people here that, you know, they've got plenty of kills. And loads of kills, as you can see. Whereas me, I got a few dozen. That was 2 hours of work. I think that's more than enough. So, quit to main menu. Do I have any option to save the game? Let us hope it saves the game. Because I tell you what, exit mission, return to menu, all current mission progress be lost. I understand, continue. Wow. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, you know, you can wishlist on Steam, join us on Discord, and they're aiming, or I should say, he and his mate are aiming to release this game in August. And I tell you what, if it's less than 20 quid, I'm gonna buy this game because this scratches an itch which I just haven't had scratched in any other game. I love artillery, I love maps, and I love plotting bearings. This is all